I'd like to call the Board of Finance Committee meeting to order for Wednesday, February 11th, 2026 at, we'll call it 6:40. Everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Troxel, please.
Yes, Mr. President, we have Councilman Thomas Schmidt.
Here.
Councilman Kevin Conley.
Present.
Councilman Rob Getzloff.
Present.
Councilman Caleb Johnson.
Present.
Councilwoman Robin Arvanitis.
Here.
Attorney David Austin.
Present.
Fire Chief Robert Patterson.
Here.
Police Chief Pete Sormas.
Here.
Park Superintendent John Novosich.
Here.
IT AJ Garcia.
Here.
Nice Engineering Neil Simstad. Public Works Director Chad Nondorf.
Here.
Director of Operations Andy Hansen.
Here.
Town Manager Jim Gorman.
Here.
Recording Secretary Robin Teal. Clerk Treasurer Michael Troxel here.
Thank you, Mr. Troxel. Now we will go on with the election of officers. Do I hear a motion for president?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Schmidt.
I'd like to nominate Councilwoman Robin Arvanitis as the president of the Finance Committee for 2026.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Do I have a motion for secretary?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Tom Schmidt, Councilman Schmidt, as secretary.
We have a motion for Councilman Schmidt. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. So we just hand it over now for,
These are the approval of the minutes is what you need to do, yeah.
okay, but does that go by Tom now, since he's the president?
I give Robin.
I mean Robin, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have the approval of the minutes of the February 12th, 2025 public meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved 5-0. Next on the agenda, we have the investment report and review.
Yes. Thank you, Madam President. Board of Finance members, yeah, there's quite a few things on here this evening, a little bit more than last year. I looked up the Indiana Code, and Indiana Code suggested having some of these at our Board of Finance for transparency and so forth. So you'll be hearing me reading a lot of things here, and then we can take some questions on any of these reports if you like. The investment report and review, if you look at, let's see, I didn't put the pages on here. Page 1 of your report there, and page 1 of your report, and page 1A, that is a listing of our current investments that we have with local banks. Those four local banks are Old National Bank, Trust Indiana Bank, and Wintrust, and Wintrust and People's Bank. People's Bank has our operating account there that has some interest, but as far as the investments, 3 banks have our investments on there. Those investment dollars for 2025 had, since we had some drops in earnings, they're all on money market accounts at these different locations. And the People's Bank, their rate over the last year, 2025, was 3.5 to 2.5, and that's the operating accounts that we have over there. That's the earnings credit, that's the money market rate earnings credit we get for them. In the Old National Bank rate, it started off at 5.38, and it went down to 3.60, again, because the Fed funds rate changed. Wintrust, they're at, when they started with us, when I invested with them this past year, the rates were 3.85, they're down, and it went down to 3.68. We got a little bit extra on that. And Trust Indiana rate, that started at the beginning of the year at 5.38, and it's approximately 3.60 at the end of 2025. So, any questions on the investment report that's presented? These are all liquid funds. They are, we can pull them out next day, and we do use them throughout the year, so these things will be pulled out as we need them for projects and meeting payroll and so forth throughout the year.
Madam President,
Yes.
Mr. Troxel, do
Yes.
you deem it appropriate to have some action by the board to acknowledge receipt of this?
Yes, you can acceptance that they received the investment report for 2025.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Motion to accept report.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries 5-0.
Thank you. Next item, it would be page 2 of your packet. Page 2 is I had an interest earned comparison from 2019 to 2025. And as you can see how, where we were in 19 and 20 and 21. In 22, interest rates were shooting up back then. We were getting out of COVID, and rates were higher. And then in 23 and 24, had some very good years there. In 25, this past year, you saw we dropped in the total interest that we had for our investments. And it looks like starting 2026, that number is going to be a lot smaller. Comparing January of 2025 to January 2026, interest earned for the month, it's down $60,000 just in that 1 month. So we do expect a large decrease in our earnings for our interest in 2026. That's just a report, so no actions needed.
Thank you.
Madam President. Mr. Troxel, does that mean, is the reason why the earned revenue is, interest is down is because there's less money to make interest?
Both.
Or has the interest rate just been so much further down?
Yes, both. Investable assets are down. Where Kennedy Avenue's there, and some of this money is related to the redevelopment fund. So those funds had been used to, for the first phase of Kennedy Avenue. We paid that to the state of Indiana. So that took it out of an investment fund. We paid it out. And then, so we have less money that we're earning interest on, and the interest rate is going down. We all know the interest rates come down. We see that what the feds are doing there. So we do expect additional interest rates, and that's what's forecasted this next year. A lowering of interest rates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is the review of investment policy. And there is not a page here, but basically just wanted to let you know that the policy, our current investment policy expires in July of 26. It was in there for 4 years. So the investment committee, we met recently on reviewing our what we just shared tonight. And what we need then, we will review our current policy and make any corrections to it and bring it back to the Board of Finance or Town Council to approve an updated policy. So we're going to be working on that. So that's just a report that the 4 years is coming up, and we're going to look at amending our policy, whatever's needed for it, for current policies that are out there. Next item, item 6, would be cancellation of warrants. This is an annual item where these warrants that are, excuse me. Yeah, we're voiding all checks that are 2+ years old. These checks are from 2023 and have not been presented for payments. Approval to cancel these warrants will allow these funds to be added back to the respective funds. The total of these warrants that we're looking at cancellating this evening total $13,347.51. So action is needed on this for us to go ahead and put these dollars back into the funds where they came from.
So moved, Madam President.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, item 4, it's recommended by the state that the Board of Finance annually designates the depositories that funds can be deposited into by our municipality. So before you on page 4, and page 4A and B and C are the list of all the depositories that the Treasurer of the state of Indiana has identified as good depositories for us to go ahead and use our funds for and to deposit them into. So if we find some good rates across the state somewhere and one of these banks are on there they want to invest in, we can go ahead and do that by acknowledging this evening that these depositories are available to use. The one note on here, we do invest with Wintrust. Wintrust is not on this list because Wintrust, their parent company in the state of Indiana is Old Plank Bank. They bought that charter bank, so that is their holding corp or bank in Indiana that is used for this, so they're on the list. If
Do we
there's no
need action
question-
on this?
Yep, no question, the action, yes.
You do need action?
Yes.
I didn't hear.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
to accept the depositories, so we,
Motion to accept the state treasurer's depository list.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carries 5-0.
thank you. Next item is the debt service report. That would be on page 5 and page 6. You have those before you. And the long-term debt that we had for 2025 totaled $4,154,648.68. And Robin, I will give you these numbers so in case you miss them. And the leases totaled that we paid out on number 6. We paid out $1,354,029. The pages before you describe what was there. What is due in 2026 is what's showing on there. And if you notice on the lease on page 6 there, the number was different than what I had rattled off just now. And that's because the total that's on this sheet is what is going to be paid in 2026 lease payments. Now, entertaining any questions on debt service. We had a total outstanding debt at the end of 2025 of $19,793,556.71. And this is down from last year since we did pay off some debt. So we're in a good way. We're going down.
Good.
Any questions on the debt service or the lease?
You need a motion?
No, I think that this is a report of what it was. Thank you. Next is item 7 and item 8. And I did this last year, but this was the tax collections for 2025. And as you see, we have here, there are 2 sheets, and it starts off in the gray bar area on top was the property tax collections for 2025. And if you look on the total right-hand side, we collected 98.7145% of what was certified in our budget last year. So we didn't collect 100%, it was 98.7145. Some of that deduction could have been from appeals that were handled throughout the year. It could be taxes that have not been paid yet, and we can collect some in this upcoming June collection, some late payments that were made. So that's where we are on that. Excise tax collections, as you see there, we collected more than what was anticipated, and that was 112.9862%. And as you see there, what we collected was, we got notice from the state last year during a budget period that we would collect $484,418. We actually collected $547,325.27. And apparently there were more cars that were purchased that were paying the excise tax than was anticipated by the state, is basically what that means. Item 8, we have the CVIT, commercial vehicle tax, that we do receive. That was at 100%. They identified that tax to be $51,344, and that's exactly what we collected and received. The 2025 redevelopment property tax collections, that was down from 2024. As you see, we collected $3,948,091.86, down from $4,559,754.37. So that difference in TIF collection was over $611,000 that we received less in our redevelopment fund. That also could be done because of appeals in that area there. We are looking into that, us and London Witty Group, to identify if there were any any changes in the collection of this for our entity, for Schererville. So more to come on this if there's found that there was, we didn't collect everything because we didn't receive everything. So we're checking with the county on that through our financial advisor, London Witty Group.
Thank you.
The last item there is stormwater. Stormwater was first year we had it in place. And on collections, we anticipated around $915,000 in collections of our stormwater fee. We collected $885,899.02. That was down $28,000. We're also looking at that also on why, when we originally submitted and identified all the properties that were paying the stormwater fee, on why didn't we collect it all? So that's still being looked at. There could be a report later on that. Bottom line is that our tax revenue was a shortage than we anticipated in 2025, and that total was $755,851.31 from what we anticipated and what we collected, so.
Okay.
And of that number, 755,000 number, 80% of that was related to the TIF collections on that we didn't get. I'd be happy to entertain any questions on the financial side of things for 2025, if there are any.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you.
Mike. Nice job.
Yep.
The Board of Finance meeting is adjourned.
I'd like to call the Waterwork Board meeting for Wednesday, February 11, 2026. We'll call it 7 o'clock. We'll accept the roll call from the Finance Committee. The Water Board consists of 3 members, myself, Councilman Tom Schmidt, and Councilman Kevin Conley. So at this time, Councilwoman Robin Arvanitis and Councilman Caleb Johnson will be excluded. Minutes of the January 21st, 2026 public meeting. Pleasure of the board.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 3-0. Are there any additional claims, Mr. Troxel?
No additional claims, Mr. President.
Pleasure of the board.
So move.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 3-0. Reports from staff. Any reports?
No reports, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Council members?
No, sir.
Okay, there is no old business, there is no new business. I'll take any business from the floor regarding waterworks. Any business from the floor? Any business from the floor? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. We'll move on to redevelopment.
No, stormwater.
Or stormwater, I'm sorry.
I'd like to call the Stormwater Board meeting for February 11th, 2026 to order. It is now 6:59. I guess I have to call it after 7 because he said 7. So
Thanks, Caleb.
the roll call is the same, but it is 3 different members of this board. It is myself as president, Tom Schmidt as vice president, and Robin Arvanitis as secretary. First agenda item is the minutes of the January 21st, 2026 public meeting.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Are there any additional claims?
No additional claims, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Pleasure of the board.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Any reports from staff on stormwater?
Chad?
Chad?
I just want to report, I was going to do it later, but I'll just do it here. The 2 county projects, Schererville Ditch along Deer Creek Drive and the Dyer Ditch along St. John Road on the west end of town. Both projects are coming up. They started with the Schererville ditch today across the street from Andora's on 65th. They're going to work west. That's Delta 3 Construction doing that work. And next week, Dyer Construction will come in, start tree removal on the Dyer ditch and start that project for the county. So just letting you guys know that they're started. We've talked about this in the past. Just keeping you in the loop. Thank you.
Any effect on traffic at all in the areas? They're
No,
going to be far enough
there'll be
out?
dump trucks and stuff coming in off with riprap, the bigger style rock to reinforce the banks, but there should be no, any kind of detours or that, you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any reports from staff? I'm sorry, from council members?
None.
Hearing none, there is no old business, no new business. Any business from the floor regarding stormwater? Any business from the floor? Any business from the floor? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Call to order the redevelopment commission meeting for Wednesday, February 11th, 2026 at 7:01 PM. The redevelopment commission consists of the entire town council, so they'll be brought back into the roll call for this meeting. Minutes of the January 21st, 2026 public meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Claims, any additional claims?
No additional claims, Mr. President.
Motion to
Moved.
pay the claims? Sorry.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Any reports from staff on redevelopment?
No reports, Mr. President.
Thank you. Council members?
None.
Okay, no old business, no new business. Anything from the floor regarding redevelopment? Any business from the floor? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Good evening. I'd like to call the utility board meeting at 7:02 PM for Wednesday, February 11th. The roll call stays the same as the redevelopment commission, all 5 councilmen. First item on the agenda is the minutes from the January 21st public meeting.
So moved?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Claims, any additional claims, Mr. Troxel, on utilities?
No additional claims, Mr. President.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Any reports from staff for utilities? Mr. Simsted?
No reports, Mr. President.
Mr. Nandor?
No reports.
Andy?
No reports.
Mr. Gorman?
No reports. Well, actually, I do have one, just an update on the wastewater treatment plant biosolids building. They're almost complete with it. The weather hopefully is going to favor them finishing up, but they're not far. As Chad's been giving me updates since he's down there all the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Any reports from council members regarding utilities? No reports. We have no old business, no new business. At this time, I'll take business from the floor regarding utilities. Is there any business from the floor regarding utilities? No business. This meeting is adjourned. We'll move right into the town council meeting.
I'd like to call to order the Town Council meeting for Wednesday, February 11th, 2026 at 7:04 PM. The roll call remains the same as the Utility Board meeting, which is the entire Town Council. First on the agenda, we have the minutes of the January 21st, 2026 public meeting.
So move.
Second?
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved, 5-0. Next on the agenda, we have claims. Mr. Troxel, are there any additional claims?
No additional claims, Madam President.
So move on claims.
Second?
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Claims are approved, 5-0. Next on the agenda, we'll start with reports around the room. So starting on this side, Fire Chief Patterson.
Thank you, Madam President. Today, we officially welcomed our newest full-time firefighter EMT, Michael McNeil, during his swearing-in ceremony here at the Town Hall. We are excited to have him join our family and look forward to great work he will be doing serving our community. So it was very nice to have that happen today. I would also like to report for the month of January, we responded to 297 EMS-related calls, 75 fire-related calls, for a total of 362 calls for the month of January. We were able to assist the surrounding communities with 10 EMS calls, as well as receiving 6 EMS assists. From the fire response perspective, our department was called upon 7 times by neighboring communities through auto or mutual aid. That's all I have for the month.
Thank you. Police Chief Sormaz?
Nothing to report tonight.
Our Park Superintendent, John Novosich?
Thank you, Madam President. The Park Department will be hosting the annual Health and Wellness Fair next Thursday, February the 19th, at the Community Center. It'll be from 3 to 6 p.m. There will be over 40 vendors. We have a blood drive, and the event's free to the public.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our Town Engineer, Neil Simstead? No reports, thank you. Public Works Director, Chad Norndorf?
Nothing to report.
Director of Operations, Andy Hansen?
No reports.
Our Town Manager, Jim Gorman?
Thank you, Madam President. I'd just like to report that we did receive a grant from the Congressman Mervan's office in the amount of $670,000 for the police department to receive new radio equipment. So we're just doing all the paperwork to get that finalized, and hopefully we'll have some, we'll be able to purchase those radios sometime this spring.
Thank you. Do we have any reports from council members?
Madam President, I had one question for Chad. I know it was reported in the newspaper, a lot of the towns that were suffering under salt storage. How are we doing on ours?
We're okay. You know, it's decent weather now. We got 600 to 800 tons left in that salt barn. We're short, but we ain't to the time of crisis. So hopefully the weather stays good from here till when spring kicks off, and we won't need it anymore.
Thank
Hope
you.
you're right. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you. Anything else, council members?
I did have one question on the grant that we received. Any strings attached to it? Do we have to purchase additional? Is there maintenance costs, infrastructure costs, anything we're going to have to
Nope.
invest in?
No, it's all gravy.
Awesome to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, are there any public comments regarding agenda items? If there are, we'd like you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Any public comments regarding agenda items? Then moving on to old business. Item A, consider appointment to the Board of Zoning and Appeals to replace the resigning member, the term ending December 31st, 2027. This was deferred from the January 21st, 2026 meeting.
Madam President,
Yes.
I'd like to move to approve gentleman Ed Lazuski, and Ed had applied for our board appointment when we were accepting appointments back in December, and I feel that he'd be a great addition to the Board of Zoning, and he lives here in Schererville, of course, and been a Schererville resident for quite a while.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We
Aye.
have, aye, oh, okay. Motion is approved, 5-0. Thank you. Item B, consider release of the irrevocable letter of credit in the amount of $66,567.89 and issuance of a certificate of release for the Portillo's development, scriber's error from the January meeting.
Yes, I can report on that, Madam President. Yeah, this was on the agenda in January, and we were missing one of the digits, which made it $6,567. So this is owed to them, all the project's done, so they get this back. So it was just a correction,
So
because we had the wrong number in there.
$66,567.89.
That is the correct number, yes. Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried 5-0. Moving on to new business. Item A, ordinance 2033A, an ordinance amending town ordinance number 2033, repealing and replacing town ordinance number 1266, town ordinance number 1266A, town ordinance number 1266B, town ordinance number 1578, town ordinance number 1578A, town ordinance number 1608, Town Ordinance Number 1608A, Town Ordinance Number 1726, Town Ordinance Number 1750, Town Ordinance Number 1925, Town Ordinance Number 1933, Town Ordinance Number 1956, and Town Ordinance Number 1956A of the Town of Schererville, Lake County, Indiana, and replacing the same by adopting and establishing a current replacement personnel policy for the Town of Schererville, Lake County, Indiana, and all matters related thereto.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, this was, the personnel policy was passed in January, and we did find an error in the fire department section. We corrected that error, and now we have this new ordinance, 2033A.
Thank you.
What was the error? What did we have to change?
It was something to do with the sleeping quarters, where if the firemen did not get the proper amount of sleep, during their 24-hour shift, that you could take that money from them and only pay them for the time they were awake and on duty. So that's what we took out.
Okay.
It matched the same policy that we've had for the last 30 years.
That was all? There wasn't just one?
Yeah, that was it.
So, Madam President, I have a question. So Jim, all these ordinances that we repealed here, is that the same ones that we repealed when we passed the original new personnel policy number 2033?
Yes, but those were added. When we had the old policy. We just kept adding like a computer policy. We just kept adding to that. We repealed every personnel policy we have, and now we only have one, instead of referring back to the old one.
And that's why these are all listed?
As repealed, yes.
Okay. Madam President, I move to approve ordinance 2033-A.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Both are approved, 5-0. Item B, consider the variance of use to allow an existing multiple-family dwelling consisting of 16 independent units within a residential zoning district of R3. Board of Zoning Appeals Case 26-1-1. The petitioners are Morningside LLC, represented by attorney Jared Tauber, Tauber Law and Engineer, James Huss Jr., DVG Team Incorporated. Location, 2601 Morningside Drive. This was a favorable recommendation by the BZA, 3-0, from the January 26, 2026 BZA meeting.
Thank you, Madam President. Tonight, James Huss is here, and he will go through that variance and explain to you guys what they're actually doing here.
Good evening, James Huss with DVG Team. Late in 2025, Morningside LLC, Steve behind me, came to Jared and I. He owns two 16-unit rental buildings in the Harvest Manor subdivision. They back up to Memory Lane Cemetery, and these buildings have been around at least pre-1985. They are legal non-conforming buildings. They no longer conform to the R3 zoning ordinance. We were advised by town staff, and excuse me, let me back up one more time. The current owner desires to sell the property to another investor, and as a matter of course, the initial buyer backed out because they exist in a legal non-conforming manner. That creates material difficulties in receiving proper insurance, decreases motivation for the owners to improve the property, and just creates material difficulty as an owner. So he desired to remove the legal non-conforming status, and re-engaged town staff and advised what needs to be done to make his properties conform. So on the advice of staff, we, at the BZA's last meeting, petitioned the BZA for 7 developmental variances, and were advised that a variance of use would be needed to allow a 16-unit building to exist legally in the R3 zoning district. At the January BZA meeting on the 26th, those 7 development standards variances were granted unanimously, as was a recommendation to you for the variance of use, as that is ultimately up to the town council. So we do expect that because if the property does sell, and that is contingent on receiving what we are asking for you tonight, that after that sale is transferred, reevaluation, reassessments, that the tax revenue generated from these properties would increase over the next 10 years somewhere between the nature of $200,000 and $600,000. So there is a net benefit to the town in granting this variance as well. I think most people agree legal non-conforming properties are not great for anybody involved, and we're asking by your vote to rectify that for 2601 and 2633 Morningside Drive here tonight. I'm happy to get into any more details, but this is a town council vote, which is why we can't stop at just the BZA for this last item or items.
So I do have a question. I don't see in the findings of fact and determination from the BZA that there were any conditions, but I remember being at the hearing with the BZA, and they did put conditions, I thought, on approval, right? Was that just for the developmental variances?
I believe you're absolutely right, they did have certain conditions. I believe those conditions were tagged, which we're happy to tag them to your vote tonight, but I believe they were brought up specific to the variances granted related to the dumpster enclosures or lack thereof, which the petitioner did commit to screening them with tight fencing.
Okay.
Whether you want, as we were accepting of that being a condition of that specific variance, we'd be similarly happy if that was a condition of your vote tonight. But those were the conditions you.
Wasn't there also a second one with the sidewalk?
Yes, that as well, yes.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that that's still agreed to, and that's part of our approval as well. So whatever we do here today, I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up, that was part of the condition of approval.
Yes, it absolutely was, and we are, if that becomes a condition of your vote tonight, we are similarly accepting of that.
Can I ask what the sidewalk one was?
It was an
There
uneven
was
sidewalk. They just wanted it replaced.
There was a particularly cracked square of sidewalk at one of the driveways. It wasn't
It was
a
right,
systemic
right
or
next
full
to the
problem.
sidewalk, yeah.
I do have a question about that sidewalk, and Andy, I thought I talked to Andy about it. That is on the normal town sidewalk, right? So I'm not sure, really not sure why the petitioner was asked to replace our town sidewalk.
Yeah, per the ordinance, it says that the sidewalks are to be maintained by the property owner. Typically, if we're doing it and it's a trip hazard, the town will do it, but it is technically up to the property owner to maintain it.
Madam President, I'll move to approve the variance of use to allow existing multiple-family dwelling consisting of 16 independent units within a residential zoning district of R3 for location 2601 Morningside Drive, and incorporate into our findings that the BZA's findings and determination is incorporated, as well as the conditions that were instituted and put in place by the BZA of fixing the sidewalk as well as shielding the dumpster.
We have a motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved 5-0. Moving on, item C, consider variance of use to allow an existing multiple-family dwelling consisting of 16 independent units within a residential zoning district of R3. This is the Board of Zoning and Appeals, case 26-1-9. The petitioners are Morningside LLC, represented by attorney Jared Tauber, Tauber Law and Engineer James Huss, Jr., DVG Team Incorporated. The location is 2633 Morningside Drive. This comes with a favorable recommendation by the BZA of 3-0 from the January 26, 2026 BZA meeting.
Madam President, I'll make a motion to approve variance of use to allow an existing multiple-family dwelling consisting of 16 independent units within a residential zoning district of R3, located at 2633 Morningside Drive, incorporating into our findings of fact and determination the BZA's findings of fact and determination, along with the conditions placed on the approval of fixing the sidewalk at issue by the BZA, as well as shielding the dumpster as they outlined.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Item D, consider acceptance of the contract between Burke, Constanza, and Carberry LLP and the Town of Schererville for attorney services in the year 2026.
Thank you, Madam President. This is accepting that contract. They are our legal representative for several boards that we have here in town. It's the same price as last year.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carries 5-0. Item E, consider the grant of utility easement to NIPSCO for the electric facilities on the northwest corner of the Klein Roundabout, I should say.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a easement that NIPSCO, they were looking to clean up their records, and while they were updating those, they found that they did not have an easement in our roundabout. They do have their facilities currently in that area of the right-of-way, so we are just granting them the easement for utilities that they already have in place.
Thank you.
They should pay us for that easement, no?
Yeah, $1,000.
All right,
Okay.
just making sure. Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Last on the agenda, item F, consider acceptance of donations in the amount of $1,525.81.
Yes. These donations were accepted through the month of January. We had donations to the town hall offices. They received an in-kind donation from Lou Malnati's for $57.70. The Willow Fund received a monetary donation from Deborah Lukin and Pat Juanillo for $50. The Animal Control received a monetary donation from Matthew Nelson for $200. And also, the Animal Control received in-kind donations totaling $250 of various items. The Police Equipment Fund received monetary donations from Corset Oran for $10 and Van Gogh Incorporated for $400. Total monetary for the Police Equipment Fund is $410. And the donation fund for the police patrol, these were various in-kind food items, it appears, to the police department patrol division, totaling $558.11. And recapping, total in-kind donations for January, $865.81. Total monetary donations, $660, for a grand total donations received and accepted, $1,525.81.
Motion to accept.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approved 5-0. Is there any business from the floor? If there is, we would like you to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Any business from the floor? Any business from the floor? Seeing and hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.